It's gold top galore. Hey there and welcome back to the channel. Today we're featuring two awesome guitars from Morgan Instruments, both featuring P90 pickups and gold top finishes. The P90 is a secret weapon of the guitar world with a sound that sits somewhere between the single coil and a humbucker, and when you pair it with gold top you get a really classic combo both in looks and sound. I always tend to use the word creamy when I'm talking about the sound of the P90. It's not as crisp clear as a single coil, and it's not as fat and beefy as a humbucker, so I think it's a really nice in-between pickup, and it sounds great with a clean sound, but I really like it when you kind of push it and drive it a little. In this video I'll show you both guitars, talk about what makes P90s work the way they do, and show you some sounds. So let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What are P90 pickups? P90s were first developed by Gibson back in the 1940s, and they're a type of single coil pickup, but with a wider coil and bigger magnets than, say, a Fender single coil. This gives them that fatter, more creamy tone with more mid-range and a touch of grit, perfect for everything from blues and rock to punk and indie. One thing worth mentioning is that P90s can be a bit noisy. They pick up more hum than humbuckers, but for a lot of players that's part of the charm. They've also got this dynamic response that makes them sing when you hit them hard, but become really silky smooth if you ease up on the volume pedal or your aggressive playing. The first guitar is the Morgan LP43 GT. This comes with that classic single cut look with 2 pickups and 4 knobs and 3-way selector switch here, just as it would be on other probably more famous single cuts, and got the same kind of headstock. This is a really classic look. It's got a really nice binding on the fretboard, and all in all I think this guitar looks really cool, and it just makes me want to pick it up and start playing on it. The guitar features Alnico 5 magnet pickups from Wilkinson, an ebony Amara fretboard, and the neck is a set neck, and I don't know the factory that these are made at, but I know that the SE series from PRS and the new Fender Standard series are also made in Indonesia. So barring there are all that many guitar factories, OEM factories in Asia, it's a safe bet that it should live up to the same quality and standard that you would expect from other affordable instruments made in Indonesia. This guitar retails at around 549 euros here in Europe, and that's about the same price point as the more affordable SE models from PRS and the new Fender Standards are aimed at. So once again, it's pretty comparable to those models from those brands, quality-wise. Now, I've been trying out these guitars for actually several months now. The people over at Morgan Instrument were kind enough to send me 2 guitars to just try out and have some fun with, and I've been using them a lot and really enjoying playing both guitars. The second model is the Morgan Artifact PS590. Morgan's Artifact series is the most expensive but still aggressively priced guitar in the electric guitar range from Morgan Instrument, and it runs you 549 euros just like the LP43. I'm assuming the name 590 is referring to the 2 P90 pickups here. You can see here this has more of a super strat kind of vibe going, with just a single volume and tone knob and a 3-position switch underneath the strings. And if we look at the back, we can see it has a really nice carve here for extended access to the fretboard. And you can also tell when I'm looking at the back of it that it has a real roasted maple neck, which is always nice. So all in all, it feels good in the hands, it's easy to play the guitar, and yeah, I've had a lot of fun with both guitars. Like I said, I've been using both guitars interchangeably for several months now and just playing various styles. And it's really hard to pick a favorite. They don't sound all that different because they're both using the same kind of pickups, the Wilkinson Alnico 5. The only difference is that these are branded Wilkinson. The LP43 has no branding on that model, but I think it's the same kind of pickup on both guitars. I sent an email off to the manufacturer and the specs they sent me looked like they were pretty much the same pickup. This guitar is also crafted in Indonesia, so once again I'm assuming it's the same level of craftsmanship, the same factory and probably the same hardware. I think the biggest difference is that this has the Super Strat vibe and simpler controllers, while the other one is a classic single coil. Both guitars are great at this price point, I just have to say. 549 euros. The competition at that price point isn't all that big. You have some in-house brands from famous music retailers around the world, which I'm not going to name here. Besides that, to match this price, I think you have to go down to probably the cheapest Epiphones or Squiers. At this price point, I think I haven't tried anything better. I really like playing both guitars, and also I have to say the gold top finish, it's so cool. One of the really nice things about the gold top finish is that it kind of hides scratches, so they look new and they keep that magic shine a lot longer than other solid colors would. So that's a benefit of getting a gold top guitar. Okay, that's my impressions of the guitars. Let's hear them. After hearing both guitars, it's up to you to decide which one you think sounds better, or if you think they sound the same, well, that's okay too. So playability wise, I think the PS590 is my favorite. I think that's just a matter of preference, and maybe your hands. I don't have really big hands, that might affect my opinion there. And it might just be because of the beautiful satin neck on this roasted maple. Sound wise, I think they sound pretty similar. Maybe the biggest difference there is the extra options you get with the classic single cut setup with 2 volumes and 2 tones, which means that you can kind of have 2 settings on the guitar. You don't have to change your settings when you change the pickup. That's kind of a win for the LP43. But at the same time, this is simple and it just works. Even though I think maybe the LP43 looks more iconic and looks really good on the wall and together with my Strats and my Tellys, but still, this is the one I enjoy the most playing. It might be different for you depending on your preferences and your hands, but yeah, this and I just think it looks so different because it's got the classic look, but not in the setup and design that you might expect from a gold top with P90s. So that's why if I got to keep one, it would be this. But I won't keep any of them. I'm just borrowing these. I have no affiliation with Morgan Instrument. This is not a paid or sponsored video in any way. I just really like that there's at least one Norwegian brand that's out there making affordable guitars. Of course, Norway has a history of really great luthiers making awesome custom guitars, and that's great. But here's a Norwegian brand making affordable, more serious produced guitars. That's really cool to me as a Norwegian guitar player. That's why I'm doing these videos on Morgan guitars, but like I said, I'm not getting paid. These are not sponsored in any way. Both great guitars, got the classic P90 sound, the cool gold top look. Both of these guitars will cost you €549. I know you can get them around Europe. According to the manufacturer, you can also get them some places in Asia, probably not in the US, but still, most of the world you can get them. But if you're looking for an affordable guitar with a P90 pickup to get a kind of different sound than your usual Les Pauls and Strats and that, then this is a really cool and different sounding instrument. You should check them out if you have the chance. Thank you to Morgan Instrument for letting me borrow these 2 babies. I'm gonna be sad to see them go, and hopefully you'll be back for the next video soon.